So my mindset is the change, even though there's a lot of bad things happening and it's very serious, is I like that because I feel there's opportunities to get better. And I'm energized by it. I'm probably more energized than I have been in 20 years. And I'm usually typically very energized because I like the challenge.
Welcome to today's episode of the Waking Up to Win podcast series. I'm your host, Mark Pessin, Chief Learning Officer at Realty ONE Group. As always, we're proud to bring you insights, tools, and resources from industry leaders and our own industry experts. They continue to join us to provide you with messages which are relevant, timely, and shared in a way to empower you, the real estate professional. Our goal is to help you identify today's challenges as true opportunity. So today I'm absolutely thrilled to have one of my favorite people joining us. My guest is the one and only Mr. Robb Spearman. Robb, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm looking forward to it, Mark. Always great to visit with you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So for those of you that don't know Robb, he's the co-owner of Realty ONE Group Impact in Des Moines, Iowa, as well as our regional director for the Heartland region of the U.S. So Robb, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way first. How are you? How are your offices and the folks in your region? And then if you would, please share how your agents and their business is being affected by the current pandemic. I know that varies greatly depending on where you are around the country.
Well, it does. So here in the Midwest, which is Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas City, it's a little bit different than the East Coast or the West Coast. So the greater Kansas City had a stay-at-home order, but the state of Iowa, there was no stay-at-home order. It was just recommended social distancing. And same thing with Nebraska. I think Iowa, Nebraska, and a couple other states were about the only states that didn't have a mandatory. So real estate has really proceeded as normal, but we are social distancing and have been doing that since March 13th or so. But the restaurants were closed, the bars were closed, the malls were closed, barbershop, spas, and stuff like that were closed. And at this point right now, what are we at May 15th, is things are starting to open up again. But we track the real estate as far as the activity has been very good in all the offices in the region. And, some of it is the sales are better than what they were last year.
Wow.
So activity's been good. We've just had to make adjustments on how we show and the precautions and the safety and stuff like that. Over the first 4 or 5 weeks, a lot of the number of the offices in the region, including ours here, is we just took all the staff. There was staff on site. They went off site to work, but it wasn't, all the offices are very virtual anyway. The West Des Moines office that I have here, the staff always worked off site. So it was just basically taking myself and the broker support and agent support staff. Tony Bright is our broker, and Marinella is our agent support, and we just kind of worked more from off-site, but the office is sanitized and things like that. But now, as things have started opening up, the offices, the staff, and the people and the agents are coming back through the region. So
that's interesting. I was going to ask you that if you noticed if your agents were avoiding the office or if it seems like it's just been kind of a steady flow through this process.
So in the state of Iowa, it's still recommended, groups of 10 or less. So agents do go in the office. We've kept all of our staff in West Des Moines always worked off-site from the very beginning. So that was purposely planned because it's much more effective and the staff likes it better. They're more efficient, they're better, and they get more work done, and they can help the agents better. So we've always kept all the staff off, except for the broker and agent support, but there was no assigned office space. We would just drop in. So that wasn't too much of a change, but we're not doing the rev up trainings in person. We're not having, a lot of interaction, which is greatly missing. But I think as we move into June or July, I think that's going to kind of open up more. But who knows? I mean, no one really knows what the future is going to be like over the next 18 months. It's going to be a little bit different. So
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, obviously, we're all still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next. But I know that you and a lot of other offices are obviously still able to conduct business. And I think it's interesting that you were already doing it virtually. So for you, it wasn't a huge adjustment and probably didn't impact your agents tremendously other than the way that they're conducting business. But as far as their interaction with you and your team and your staff, it sounds like that's kind of the status quo for them. So it doesn't sound like that's changed too much.
No, that hasn't changed. It's just the interaction with the rev ups and myself and Tony Bright and Marinella in the office where we're talking, laughing, and helping agents out. That part we don't have because of the change. But other than that, it's pretty good. Showings dropped just like they did across the nation after that March 13th, dropped way down. But now here in Iowa, the showings throughout the state, the showings are almost at the same level as last year. So activity's good. I mean, we adjusted I think, fairly well with it. And sometimes when there's a shock or there's change, there's opportunities. And as far as the owners in the region and the staff and the agents, I think that our mindset is very positive and forward looking. I know that everyone's really adapted very quickly and positively. The first 7 to 10 days it's a little of emotional drain, but
Of course.
after that time period, I've been really proud of what I've seen with everybody throughout the region and offices. It's just, it's a very positive, forward looking growth, excitement of moving forward. Adjusting and moving forward was our theme through all this. We kind of played on a theme. It was, the shock is here, the shock is over, so let's adjust and let's move forward. And so we talked a lot about that. We're seeing it. We're seeing it with the sales and with additions to the offices with agents.
Well, I think that comes from great leadership. And, one of the things I've always appreciated about you, Rob, and all the time we work together is your positive attitude. And you just mentioned the word positive, I think 3 times. You always have a smile on your face. You always seem to have a good outlook, and you always seem to want to share that with others. I can't see you right now, but I'll bet you're probably smiling right now. So I guess my question is, where does that come from, and how do you maintain it, even when things are stressful or maybe in shock, like you described?
I hear that quite a bit from people, and it's good to hear. So, I probably get it from my parents. My mom's very much like this, but I'm 56 now, and I've kind of developed it over the years. I think in my teens and my 20s, I was kind of beat up quite a bit in life, just in general. And then I just discovered something it's a really simple idea, and it really changed things, is I look at everything as a journey, and there's never a start or end date. So I just try to enjoy the journey instead of looking. I always look at the future. I don't look in the past. I look in the future and I look at what things can be, and I try to dream and envision things to have those things come into reality. But I enjoy the journey. So, if something happens during the day, it doesn't affect me too much because I'm just having fun with the journey. So, I want to smile, I want to laugh, I want to make jokes, and I enjoy people. So I think that's probably the thing that I think about most. I see in most people that they're always goal oriented. They have to get someplace. They have to get someplace, and they're always trying to get to that one place, and they never
Right.
enjoy the process. I just enjoy the process. There's no end for
Yeah.
me.
I think I think you've obviously discovered it, but I think that's the secret to happiness and probably why you're always so positive, and it probably even it seems effortless to you, but it comes across in the conversations, even, when I view, and I follow you on Facebook, and so I see the stuff that you share, and you exude not just confidence, but positivity, and it seems effortless for you, but I think it's just because you figured that out, that it sounds like you've discovered that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and I think that it's awesome to watch, so I appreciate it very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate hearing that.
Absolutely. So I know that you've been in business for a long time in real estate, and not just with our organization, but you've been highly successful in real estate as a whole, and you've obviously been through tough markets before. So what would you say is similar about this market, and maybe what's different about what we're currently experiencing, and without the benefit of a crystal ball, where do you think we're headed?
Well, I have a mindset, and this may seem a little bit different, but in real estate, and I've been in real estate for 25 years,
Hmm.
I look for change. So in forward looking, I'm always looking for something to change at that moment because I believe when something changes, that's when there's the greatest opportunity to grow and to become better and to have more success. So when things are really hot and running really, really hot in the real estate market, it's fun, but I'm looking for that change. So, like, the changes I experienced in the years I had, it was 94, 95, rates went up a little bit, the 2001, and then 2008. This doesn't have too much similarities. This is kind of weird for us here. So, I imagine if we were in, states like California or LA County or Pennsylvania, some of those other really, really having some troubles, or New York. So, first of all, I guess my mindset is the change, even though there's a lot of bad things happening and it's very serious, is I like that because I feel there's opportunities to get better. And I'm energized by it. I'm probably more
Hmm.
energized than I have been in 20 years. And I'm usually typically very energized because I like the challenge.
Right.
But when I say this is weird is because in 2008, when it collapsed during that time, is real estate was hit for us and it just went off. And everybody else seemed to be doing okay. And
That's
then
right.
6 months later, the stock market crashed. And farmers were doing great and everything else. And it was just a long time through that. I enjoyed that. That was a challenge. And matter of fact, the offices that I had during that time period, we continued to grow. This is weird because it's like the restaurant business, the bars, the retail, the barbershop, those type of businesses have just been hit really, really hard and are having a lot of
Yeah.
troubles. Where for us in real estate, we're still selling. Now, things are still happening and we're having a lot of inventory. So that's a little strange. But I do feel that my guess is, and who knows, but my guess is that we're going to be at the tail end of this. I don't think what we're seeing now is what we're going to see in 6 months or a year. I think there's an effect that we might not be able to tell that will be in 12 to 18 months. Now, when I say that, I don't say that negatively. I say that because if we prepare ourselves, we have great, great opportunities at that time. But I'm just kind of guessing that we might see something at the end of this in real estate, either through inflation or through just some stagnation, either way.
Yeah, I
Or
agree.
we might just kind of sneak out of it, kind of ride through out of it. Okay. I just have a feeling that we're not going to see what we're really going to see for another 6 months to a year. We'll know more as we go through the winter.
So, with that in mind, and knowing that our audience is primarily, real estate agents and professionals that are, practicing in the industry today, what would you suggest, and what are you telling the agents in your region, in your offices, that they should be doing to not only survive this time, but maybe prepare for the changes that may be coming?
Well, I don't think it's the word survive is the right word. So when I look out and I think that there might be really feel this 6 months or 12 months or 18 months. So when you look at your market and you're seeing your market, I just don't think it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. Now, when I say this, I think there's great, great opportunities. So it's not really surviving, it's how to thrive. It's really how to
Hmm.
grow during that time because when things move, it shocks your competition, it shocks other agents. So as agents or brokers, you're in the business, you're competing with other people. So what happens is if they're not prepared, if they're not seeing it, they become shocked and they become like a deer in headlights. They don't move and you have to move. So you have to get
Yes.
really, really good. So, I mean, there's obvious things of really working your spear and you're working your network, but there's other things that you really have to polish up. You have to polish up the service level of the experience. That's much a better word for it, but the experience with your buyer and seller, the process from the first time that you meet them to the end and then past the end. Now's the time to make that, to really work on all those steps to create wow moments and to really provide professionally great service to them because that's going to help for referrals and that will set you apart. So you have to become, the high class hotel and taking great care of them. Okay. That's one thing to really concentrate. And the other side is it's the image and it's the professionalism that you have online. Obviously, 24 photos or 28 photos or 36 or 70 photos don't do it. Is every listing's got to be virtual. You got to be doing
Hmm.
some live virtuals, but you've got to polish that up. You've got to get good at videos and you got to just polish it. And you have to work at it and do it to polish it. Your presence online, anything that you do, it has to look very clean. These are times to really become that Ritz Carlton. Go from a Holiday Inn to the Ritz Carlton. Just refine yourself with what you do and the customer experience. I do feel there's going to be a change. There is going to be a change. We are going to see something at the tail end of this. And if we don't, and you prepare, you're just going to be better. So you might as well prepare.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I'm personally doing, and that I'm doing it with the staff. That's what I'm doing with the region. That's what I'm doing with sharing with agents is how to do better. And it's the exact same thing I did in 2007 and 8. When the crash happened and things were just bombing, I just kind of looked around and said, okay, let's get better. Let's do something and get better and adjust and move quickly. 2001, I did it, and in 95, I did it. It just anytime something happens, you go back to the basics of really trying to get better at what you do. Hyper focus.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're saying. It's a lot about positioning, and you just need to make sure that you're positioned in a way to be able to absorb the business when other agents are not necessarily there to pick it up. And I appreciate that so much because that's a lot of what we're coaching agents to do as well. And I love that you talked about video and your online presence because not only is that something that we've been preaching over and over and that we provide so many tools to do, but it's something that you absolutely walk the walk. If you could maybe just share for a minute how you've kind of gotten into that arena because you really do have a fantastic online presence and you do incredibly dynamic videos, very engaging videos, and you do them consistently. So it's not like it's just a one off here and there. You certainly seem to have like a routine or a ritual or a schedule that you follow. And I don't know if that's something that you coach to others or if it's just more of leading by example.
Well, I do try to coach it, and I try to lead by example. And thank you very much for the compliments.
Of course.
I don't have a set schedule. I don't have a routine with it, but I do it. I try to do it consistently and I try to get better at it. So we all feel when we do videos, everyone feels, well, we don't look good. We're not going to say the right things. The lighting's not going to be right. And so what happens is we put it off.
Hmm.
So my thought process is to jump in and to do it. And I can go back, 2.5, 3 years ago and look at the videos and think, wow, geez, it just looks so terrible. I sounded terrible. And then I can look at today and it's better. But when I do the videos and I put them up, sometimes I do it and I think, wow, I really got that. This one looks great. But then I look back 2 weeks later and I said, oh, that wasn't good. The lighting wasn't good where I look. I need to change it. Maybe I change locations. I'm always playing with it. So I never feel like it's really, maybe when I first post it, I'm kind of excited about it. But then a couple weeks later, I look at it and think, oh, this is not very good, because I think I keep trying to get better and better at it. So my point is, you just have to do it. And that, again, it's the journey. And as you do it, you start creating your character and you start getting better at what you do with it. And I never think that I'm doing that good of a job at it, but I keep doing it and I keep trying to get better at it and I keep playing with it and I keep making mistakes with it. And I tell you what, I am not the handsome guy on there. I don't speak the best. I mispronounce words. Sometimes I don't have the lighting right. I'll goof up with things. It's transparent. It's just how I am. And I really feel that to connect with people, people want to see that. They don't want something staged. The
Yeah,
other thing is, I also come to this realization that to do it, and I think people have an issue with this. The first thing is the lighting, what to say. They're going to say something wrong. They don't look good, things like that. That's always there. But the second thing is, and maybe people don't say that, but they think this because I think this too, is that you're going to do this, and some people are not going to like what you say, and some people aren't going to like you. You're going to turn some people off. That's going to happen. Not everybody's going to like what you do on there, but you are going to connect with people and you'll connect with a lot of people that will really connect with you. And what's really special about it, when you meet people that you've never met and they've watched your videos and you've done them like transparent, they seem like they've known you for years. The,
that's right.
the trust level and everything, you're just like right into a conversation, really cool. And so that's kind of really, really special with it. The other thing is, you might not get a lot of comments. You might get a few likes and not a lot of comments, and you'll think, oh, geez, that didn't work. A lot of times people don't comment on your videos, but they'll watch it. And some they'll watch a little bit, some they don't watch, but they see it there. It has amazing, amazing results, and I enjoy it. It's fun to do. I like trying it, and I just try to have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about it and the way you come across on your videos is, and you even have said it here, that, it's not perfect. Obviously, we all make mistakes on video, but you're authentic and you come across as just you're yourself on video. The same person that you are on video is the person that you meet and interact with in person. And I know that from obviously spending time with you. So it's not like you're creating a persona, you are yourself. And I love the fact that you also always find a way to weave in some humor and get people to laugh and keep it light, that it's not always so serious. That I appreciate that. And I think that that's also what makes it that much more engaging. And I don't know if that's an intentional or just your personality, but I think it's a great, character trait that you include.
Yeah, that is kind of my personality. I'm kind of goofy like that. I will share something with you, though, that people probably don't realize. My wife realizes it when I do it because I tell her. And obviously, I do this because as a broker, I'm looking at adding agents, or in the region, I'm looking for someone to buy a franchise.
Hmm.
So I always have something in there that's hidden, maybe, or a comment or a line that's really directed at maybe someone or something or someplace. or
Just
a
some
com-
something embedded, basically.
or a competitor, and they have no idea. But I'm
Right.
talking maybe to some of their agents, or someone that's looking at a franchise, and they'll
Right.
relate to it. So sometimes I might do a video and I'm talking just to one competitor, or I'm talking to one market or one agent or something, because the idea will come across or something like that.
And do you find with your videos that you have, and I know you said you don't initially have a schedule or routine, but when you start off the week, do you kind of have an agenda of things that you want to cover in your videos, or is it more just kind of what inspires you that particular day, or which happens to be going on at that time that you want to cover?
No agenda, nothing typed up. It's done on inspiration. It's real. So it's very inspirational. So it's stuff I'm hearing, stuff I'm seeing, stuff I'm reading, stuff that I'm talking to with agents or brokers and owners, or people looking at franchises, or people looking at joining us. It comes through the conversations. And so it will be a subject or an idea with 2 or 3 bullet points that I'll go through. It's all inspirational. Sometimes is at night I might be thinking, okay, what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to do one tomorrow, and I've read something. And then the next morning, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got it. And I just go do it. Now, when I do these, I typically just do them in one read. Now, sometimes I start and I goof up a word right at the beginning, and I thought, oh, no, I can't do that.
Sure.
So, but typically I just do it in one go. I just have 2 or 3 bullet points I'm thinking through mine, and I just talk. It's nothing planned or written or typed up or anything like that.
That's awesome. I love that. And I remember for a while there you were doing, I think your topic was, here's what I'm thinking about today.
Yeah.
It was always something new and interesting. And sometimes it was silly and sometimes it was serious, but it was always engaging.
Yeah, I like doing those. And I do those every so often too. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, this has been wonderful, Rob. I can't thank you enough for spending a little time with us today. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you again soon. I appreciate when you come out to our training classes and spend time with us, and I hope we're able to do that again soon.
Well, I've really enjoyed it. And the other thing is, I just wanted to, I guess, put a plug in here, because if anyone knows of anyone in the Iowa, Nebraska, or Greater Kansas City that would like an opportunity to explore looking at owning a Realty ONE Group franchise, they can reach out to me. Or if you're an agent, professional real estate agent, or a realtor in Iowa, Nebraska, or Kansas City, and you want to explore the opportunities of being an agent in a Realty ONE Group office, reach out to me and I can lead you in the right direction there too.
Absolutely. And what is the best way for folks to get a hold of you, Rob?
They can call me 515-202-2974, but also with Facebook messaging and stuff like that, email. So they can Google my name. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you for this. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to sharing this with everyone, and I can't thank you enough for all that you do.
My pleasure.
All right, Rob. Talk to you soon. Thank you. And as always, a huge thank you to our growing audience of podcast listeners. Thank you for staying connected to us and to each other. Remember, my friends, by working together, we will achieve greater success faster.